13 years after Robin Gibb's death in 2012, the silence surrounding his private battles is finally beginning to crack. For over a decade, his children protected the man behind the music, holding back stories that the public could only guess at. But in 2026, the weight of the truth has become too heavy to keep inside. They are no longer shielding a legend. They are explaining the man. This is the real story of the voice that defined a generation, told through the eyes of those who knew him best in the royal time of Hollywood. The early years, a fractured legend begins. Before the scandals and the global fame, Robin Hugh Gibb was a child of harmony. Born in 1949, just minutes after his twin Maurice, Robin's early life was a whirlwind of movement, from the Isle of Man to Manchester and finally to Australia. Even at 10 years old, Robin's signature tremolo stood out. By the mid-1960s, the Bee Gees were rising stars, but the pressure of fame was already creating cracks. The brothers were unprepared for the cost of their success, setting the stage for a lifetime of brilliance and internal chaos. Love, trauma, and the first great fall. In 1968, an 18-year-old Robin married Molly Hullis. Their bond was forged in the fires of the Hither Green rail crash, a catastrophe they both survived. But the trauma of the accident couldn't sustain a marriage strained by distance and Robin's escalating emotional instability. Driven by the pressures of touring, Robin drifted into stimulant use. His moods became a roller coaster of hyperactivity and paranoia. By 1980, Molly divorced him, and the split turned bitter, leading to Robin's brief but humiliating imprisonment in 1983 for violating a court order. It was the first public sign that his internal world was darker than fans imagined. The secret truth, an open marriage, and a love child. In 1985, Robin found a new anchor in Edwina Murphy Gibb. To the outside world, they were a peaceful, creative couple. However, the truth, confirmed only recently by his children, was far more unconventional. Robin and Edwina lived in an open marriage. This arrangement paved the way for the most sensational rumor of Robin's life, his long-term affair with the household housekeeper, Claire Young. In 2008, Claire gave birth to Robin's daughter, Snow. While the public saw a scandal, the family reveals that Edwina had accepted the situation with a serene lack of jealousy. Yet, balancing two households created an emotional chaos that Robin carried until his final days. Family feuds and the silence toward Barry. Behind the legendary harmonies lived a family defined by conflict. The death of Maurice in 2003 shattered the emotional bridge between Barry and Robin. The brothers clashed over Maurice's legacy and creative control, leading to a decade where they were barely on speaking terms. The most heartbreaking revelation from Robin's children is that Robin never told Barry he had cancer. Barry only learned of the illness when Robin was already dying. The silence wasn't a lack of love, but a reflection of the invisible walls built by years of competition and unhealed wounds. The final battle, the miracle at the bedside. By 2011, Robin was fighting colon and liver cancer. Despite a fragile frame, he remained defiant, composing the Titanic Requiem from his hospital bed. In April 2012, he slipped into a coma, and doctors warned the family the end was near. Then the impossible happened. As Edwina played his own music in the room, Robin's fingers moved, and he opened his eyes. Doctors called it a medical anomaly. His children called it a miracle. For a few brief days, he was back, humming melodies and dreaming of the stage. But the miracle was fleeting. On May 20th, 2012, Robin passed away at 62, his hand in Edwina's, full of music until the very end. What the children are finally revealing. Today, R.J. Gibb and his siblings are filling in the missing pieces. They have confirmed the open marriage and the private provisions made for his daughter, Snow, to ensure the family stayed united rather than divided by legal battles. Through their words, we see a man who is a medical miracle, not just in his final days, but throughout a life of surviving trauma and fame. They are ensuring that Robin's creative voice continues, unpublished works and all, proving that the man behind the harmony was just as complex and beautiful as the songs he wrote. Robin Gibb's life was a symphony of brilliance and turbulence. Which Bee Gees song has stayed with you the most over the years? Let us know in the comments below. If you want more deep dives into the untold stories of the royal time of Hollywood, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tap the bell notification